Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And we got ourselves a news brief on our hands today, Larson, because a couple tidbits of news dropped that we thought were pretty interesting. We thought we'd bring it to you, the friendos.
That's right. First
out.
could this be a prediction or could this be a spoiler? Coming up, story we're about to talk about. So we dropped our 2024 predictions video, our wrestling predictions, pro wrestling predictions video, New Year's Day.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's out now.
I don't think, you can watch it right now if you haven't already, but neither of us were bold enough to take a guess at where WWE Raw might land after it signs its next TV deal, whenever that happens. Probably soon, but today.
Cowards. That's what we are.
Got that right. Today, Sports Business Journal issued their own predictions for the new year, and they see Raw going to a prime destination.
Oh. It's not.
Take a guess where that's at, Steve.
It's not cable. It's not network. It's those other guys, a.k.a. streaming Amazon Prime. I'm not guessing that, and I'm not using your hint. I read the same thing you did.
All right, this is what the quote is from Sports Business Journal. Quote, Amazon gets, this is a prediction. This isn't like a declaration. Prediction. Amazon gets WWE Raw rights and keeps the series on Monday nights. This hits an audience of young males, a demo where Amazon believes it sees growth in Prime subscriptions. Plus, it gives the company another night of live programming on Prime Video. Of course, Thursday evenings during football season. Amazon, they got the Thursday night games. Mm-hmm. And while those aren't the most popular endeavors, because the Thursday night games usually aren't the best games.
Yeah.
Because it's a short week. They don't really get the best matchups. Usually the Thursday night games aren't that entertaining.
They get the scrub games, yeah.
It's kind of. But WWE Raw, Monday Night Raw is far from the scrub WWE programming.
Yeah, right. It's prime, premium.
It's WWE's flagship show. It's been on for 30 plus years now.
And once SmackDown right now, it's kind of the A show because it's on Fox. But once it hits USA, it's going to be the turd show.
I wouldn't go that far. It's not going to be when it was a clip show back in 2006 or later than that, 2010, 2011, 2012.
It's going to be on par with WWE Speed.
Well, that's not even a show yet. It would be interesting if Amazon got the rights to Raw. I mean, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I'm sure I could do a Google search and find out how many Prime Video subscribers there are. A lot of people have Amazon Prime just because you get free shipping on Amazon products.
Well, yeah, everybody buys everything on Amazon these days. And they make the Prime deal like a pretty decent one, specifically, like you said, for shipping. You try that shit without Prime, you're paying, like 20% for shipping sometimes. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's
adds
expensive,
up, Steve.
Depending on what you're getting. If you get like a bunch of dumbbells, then man, you're paying more for shipping.
Dude, it's crazy. I'll order like 50 pounds of weights and it's shipped for free. And I'm like, gosh, I feel terrible for the delivery driver.
You've done that before?
Yeah.
I did that once and I felt so horrible. I never did it again.
I felt so bad for the person that had to bring the weights up.
Bro, they sent the 62-year-old too. He comes up and he's like, what do you got in here, weights? And I'm like, yeah. And he looked at me like I was the biggest asshole because I kind of was.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yes, sir, I did.
Did he get to use a dolly at least?
Nah, man, he didn't have no dolly. This old man tried to do it just all on his own. He probably didn't. I don't know. You know how those old timers are. They don't think. Anyways, so yeah, the other thing to keep in mind about this, and I always remember, I give credit where it's due, or try to anyways, Jason Monster.
Yeah.
Said, kind of makes sense. Because he got like, they got these network specials as part of the SmackDown deal. So you got the network lockdown. You got SmackDown on cable. So you got cable lockdown. And then you got to tackle the streaming because a lot of people feel, and I think with good reason, that streaming is where the future of entertainment is in the living room.
Still remains to be seen in that aspect because all these streaming services that were supposed to lead to all of us cutting the cord and ditching cable, with our low monthly fees for these particular streaming services are now charging us more expensive fees plus putting ads on programming that we thought we were getting ad free. Anyways,
so I mean, just real quick, because I agree with you. I do feel like the trend, and this is my own personal speculation here, is going to be more along the lines of there will be fewer streaming services because they're going to start partnering up, like Apple and Paramount, I think, where there was like word that there was like going to be a deal with them to like conglomerate their streaming services. This right here, what is this? S&P Global. During 2023, the survey data revealed that U.S. video cord cutter households expanded by 8% year over year. As of third quarter 2023, traditional pay TV subscribers declined to 51%, while 35% of total U.S. internet households have dropped their traditional pay TV subscription without replacing it. You're right. Streaming services are out of control these days, but it also kind of feels like that might adjust sooner than a resurgence of cable television. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, like the panacea that streaming was promised to be hasn't exactly panned out to
Man,
to
it
deliver
never
in that
is.
respect.
It never is. They,
No,
you know, they lure you in with these good deals, and then what do, Larson? They stick it to you.
Thanks, capitalism. Doing a brief Google search here, apparently there's about 170 million Amazon subscribers here in the United States. So, like, I don't know, basically every household.
If I'm not, isn't like TNT in like 100? Yeah, basically every household, right?
Basically every household.
This is like what 300 million people in the United States.
There's like 300 plus million people.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, everybody's gonna have access to it, and so yeah, I think that it's probably and on top of that, WWE's probably in this sweet spot right now where it's like, well, it's a big deviation from what we're used to. Gonna have to pony up because we know that if there's one company in this country that has just a shit ton of money, like on par with Saudi government money, it's Amazon. They've got all the money. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And if WWE wants to be seen as like an industry leader, looking forward to the future, they think the forward's not, if the future's not cable, it's streaming. And
yeah,
they want
right.
to lead the charge
They want to make
to-
$1 and a
to-
cent.
and make a lot of money doing it, then that's what they'll do.
Yeah, and that's my point is that like Amazon will overpay versus what USA, USA stores like we got SmackDown, we've got your A show. And they're like, au contraire, now Bezos in his
guess what?
backyard.
Yeah, and everybody's going to Raw.
Yeah, Bezos backyard wrestling, exactly.
Exactly.
So anyways, yeah, whether or not, whoever is doing this Sports Business Journal predicting is knowing what they're talking about. Like if it's like Steven Larson with the wrestling predictions, 50-50, man, if that.
If this is a situation where this is a highly educated prediction.
Yeah, right.
Or
With maybe
this is
a dash of inside info.
Maybe, don't know. Or simply us trying to read the landscape often poorly and then make predictions based on that interpretation of what's going on. Who knows?
Sports Business Journal is busy listening to Solid Monster talk about what he thinks is going to happen.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Here, turn in, get paid. Anyways, another guy who got paid by MLW and now New Japan Professional Wrestling, Matt Riddle, opening up now about his time in WWE. So check this out. Shortly after the 2022 Royal Rumble, PW Insider reported that, quote, the original plan for the men's Rumble winner was Matt Riddle. Plans were changed over the course of the week a ton of times, with the final decision to have Brock Lesnar enter and win as a surprise. At one point, there was a pitch for Randy Orton to win as well, but Riddle was the frontrunner until the switch to Brock was made. Little did we know that seemingly Brock made that switch, Larson, because today, during a session on Signed by Superstars, Riddle commented on why plans changed. These transcripts come to you via Fightful. He said this: I was told at one point I was going to win the Rumble 2022. And then Bobby Lashley beat Brock Lesnar, hit him with the belt. Brock came in, didn't want to do business with everybody, and said he was winning. Nobody stood up to him. I didn't either.
Interesting. That's
So,
the
like-
same Rumble where Shane McMahon was trying to change all sorts
Was that
of
the
stuff,
same
too.
Rumble? Okay,
Yeah, it's
2022.
So
Yeah.
that Rumble just seems to be an absolute mess.
I would hope now with, I wonder if that's one of the reasons why Brock Lesnar ran away from the building when it was found out that Vince McMahon had stepped down. And then they had to lure him back with the promise of recasting him with Goldberg. And I wonder if it's because now maybe Brock can't come in and just sort of do whatever he wants to do, because Vince seemingly just let him do whatever he wanted to do, and he let Shane do whatever he wanted to do.
Seemingly.
And you'd like to think that at this point, you got to think, oh, I got it now. If I want to do what I want to do, I got to get past a sledgehammer and a pedigree. Can't do it. Exactly. Hey, by the way, I still get, I don't know if you still do, but I still get emails for like job openings and stuff in our various fields, and none of them offer the security and freedom of going in Raw. But
what does, honestly?
But TKO did send an email to me. Well,
you personally?
No, not me personally.
Oh.
It was like Indeed sent me an email saying that they have a job opening at TKO for a social media video editor, and the salary's up to like $100,000. I know, right?
Wow.
You know what we should do? You and I should create a fictional character.
With the power of AI.
and tag team this thing. So we do so we each get 50,000 doing half a person's work.
But when do we have to go to an office? I doubt it's a remote job.
Yeah, well, we'll tell them it's remote.
I don't know. That might disqualify us.
We'll offer you the most premium social media video editing, sir. And then we'll even tag team like the Zoom interview, but using like, one of those AI bot heads or something like that.
Exactly.
An avatar.
Type in the responses, and it just, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Is that lady with like, the back of her head is like machines and stuff?
Yes.
Anyways, I don't know why I brought that up. Yeah, so talk about Riddle and Brock Lesnar, man.
It's interesting because in 2022, that's when RK Bro was huge. And I remember at the time we'd speculated, are they going to have RK Bro break up and have Orton and Riddle feud going into WrestleMania? And if so, would they consider having a championship involved? And seemingly at some point they did. They did think that. And who knows if, obviously Roman getting COVID prior to the day one pay-per-view in 2022 seemingly changed a lot of plans and eventually led to them getting those titles together.
Big old wrestling what if.
Yeah, unifying the titles at the following WrestleMania. Had that not happened, would have been a situation where they would have went with Riddle still to win the Rumble, or Orton, or they would have changed plan. I mean, Shane McMahon might have got their day of like, nope, I'm winning Rumble. Who knows?
It definitely feels like Roman's sort of, epic title run that we're on right now kind of stumbled into place. Kind of like Undertaker's streak, how it was like, well, we just happened to get to like, I don't know, 10 years where it made sense every one of those years for him to be winning all the time. And then, we start to reference a streak. Now it's a thing. Mm-hmm. With Roman, day one, he was apparently supposed to lose. There was an early report like that his initial title run wasn't even, I don't think, supposed to make it until early 2022. It was supposed to be a relatively short one, and then he was supposed to turn face, and we don't know exactly what that situation was, but it's gotten this long, and it's been wildly good for business. It's been, absolutely the thing that's made him, it's put him on that level of all timers. They're talking about him like Bruno, like Hogan, like Cena, Austin Rock, et cetera, et cetera. And, given that wasn't always the plan at a certain point, they obviously decided, okay, we're going to go with this as long as we can. But yeah, at a certain point, who knows if Riddle and Orton were meant to feud over a title, if those titles were not going to be unified like they were. Maybe that would have been the situation. Maybe we'd still have separate champions right now. Well, we do, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That one's a new one. So.
For the year plus that we didn't, we wouldn't.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. Interesting stuff. I wonder more. I'm sure Riddle has a lot of stories that he can probably unload with over the next couple months now that he's not with the WWE. And is heading to New Japan and MLW, and maybe we'll see him in Impact. I don't know, or TNA, whatever it's called. I don't know. See what he can do. Anyways, that's going to do it for this news brief. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time. Hey, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.